and today we're going to be talking about marketing your law firm practice with AI in 2026. I know that having a law practice is of your own, especially when you're a sole proprietor or a single lawyer or even a small law firm. It's very tough to market yourself. It's very tough to get clients. Mostly it works with word of mouth. So today's topic is to help you get clients through AI. So while you're researching, you actually need to brainstorm your ideas. You can see your practice areas, you can see what percentage of practice you're doing. You can even prompt AI to list 20 specific questions for someone facing a legal situation and a contract, a lawyer, and what is your competition on Google. And actually, it really helps to also narrow down your competition on Google and who's ranking the highest, because that's what you want to do, right? Step 2 would be create content across all formats. So once you have a topic, you can turn to AI and use one core explanation, or even, if you go into AI, you can actually create a project. So if you go into Claude, into Grok, into ChatGPT, you can create a project. So I've done this before. You can go into anything you're using at this point, and I would suggest ChatGPT and talk to it like you're talking to somebody, and say that I'm an immigration lawyer. I have 4 years of experience. I practice immigration law and estate law, and I want to market myself. You can also share that if you're comfortable in making videos or not, because some people are and some people are not. I was not for the longest time comfortable in shooting videos. So I know a lot of people who are into traditional practice and do not like making videos. So Instagram, to be honest, would not be on their cards for marketing. But then you can also market on LinkedIn. You can make a nice LinkedIn profile. All of that stuff. But like, coming back to the prompts, like, you need to tell ChatGPT to make a project information or guidelines. And when you prompt that, and I'm actually going to help you do that, I'm going to in the description below, I will list step by step on how to go about that. So for example, I generate information from ChatGPT but have a project in Grok for my marketing. So when you go on ChatGPT, you talk about it yourself, you talk about your goals. I basically wanted to grow maybe 2 clients a month or 3 clients a month, or you could just give it a generic idea and it kind of talks back to you. Then pick up that project, copy paste, and put it into the description from ChatGPT. Put it into your project in any tool you want to use as the guidelines. And then you can, even when you start talking to it, like, this is my LinkedIn profile, you can link your LinkedIn profile, and I want to post something. What do you think I should post? What do you think should be the call to action? Like, how when you do a LinkedIn post, you write about something and then you want to refer your client or your professional network to a call to action. So that is something you can do. What I would say is, when you do create this project, consistency is something which you would need. Even if it's you on Instagram or LinkedIn or emails, you can even use AI to do bulk emails. There are so many tools out there, which I'm going to try and look for and probably review for you as well. Email marketing does make a little sense because people do check their emails every single day. But yes, spam is another thing. So you have to brainstorm of what you want and then make your choices. Instagram would be something really good for you if you are good with videos. YouTube has become an amazing search engine for a lot of people on the go, like who like watching videos, listening to podcasts. If you want to talk about making a podcast, that is also another thing. Like, if you have something which you can talk about your practice, or as a lawyer, or as like things you want to do. So I think the first step would be that you look for this video is basically to cover strategy. So first would be brainstorm, then talk to ChatGPT, brainstorm with ChatGPT. Then second would be consistency, and I guess the third would be that you need to create like a calendar of how much you can take out time for your marketing. There are so many tools out there in different ways of marketing, and I am going to cover this in a video soon on my channel on what can you actually use. Meta Business Suite has amazing new features as well, and I've been using that. YouTube has amazing features. If you post a video on YouTube, it gives you so many more ideas to create videos on topics which people actually look for, and there is no content on there. Google Business Profile has evolved recently because of Gemini evolving as well. So your Google network, if you have a business profile, an email and everything, I'm sure you've noticed. And again, I'm going to cover this in a different video because today was just a basic concept on what to talk about when it comes to marketing. I would love to hear in the comments on what you found most interesting in this video. And you know what, if you actually need help brainstorming, I'm going to give you a little checklist down in the description on step by step on what I did to create a project, and then use that and talk to it as if it was my social media strategy person in my office, which I don't have, it's just me at this point. But I would leave that down for you and some resources in the description, and then soon I will make a video on some tools which you can use at a law firm for marketing. And thank you, I will see you tomorrow. So let's talk about why marketing needs a system and not just basic AI tools, and why we need to create a certain timetable for our marketing. Most lawyers try one AI tool for one task, maybe a blog post here, a social caption there, and it never adds up to be consistent or creates any visibility. The firms actually see results when they treat AI as a repeatable system and make it consistent with the research, and they distribute their content equally. So first step would be to research your audience. So for example, if I am an immigration lawyer, I would look for clients who are either looking for filing, for judicial reviews, or for immigration deportation, stuff like that. So you need to narrow down who is exactly your clientele and how to approach them with a certain system, and where do you think that where do you think that you can approach them? Can you approach them via email? Some basic idea if you would have it, and then if you don't, and then obviously you can prompt AI accordingly. But I guess with me, I understand that I know a lot of my clients would be internationally, migrated people, or people who are willing to migrate, or people who want to call people from their family to Canada and then have had problems with their visitor visa and want to do a judicial review. So narrow down maybe not just your audience, but also your what do you want to market it for. So my practice is mostly immigration law, and then I also do a little bit of wills and estates, but not as much as I do immigration law, not as much as I practice immigration law. So at this point, I mostly market immigration law and less of estate law or wills and estates.